All right, it's Bill Fennell, the grieving dad. What I want to talk to you about today is the 6 myths of grief and loss. So the first one is don't feel bad. This is something we're told from a very young age, that feeling sad, feeling bad is wrong. Imagine a little girl coming home. She just got picked on, got in a fight, and the first thing mom, dad does is sits her down and says, "Here, have a cookie. You'll feel better." Well, that really doesn't help deal with emotions that we have, and it creates a short-term energy removing behavior. Maybe it's not removing, but basically it starts a bad habit of let's feed our emotions food. So don't feel bad, don't feel sad. That is one of the things that life, that people have taught us through the ages, because we don't have the adequate tools for grief. Number 2, replace the loss. So imagine a young child with a puppy, dog. The dog passes away. Immediately, don't worry, we'll buy you a new puppy on Saturday. Family goes out, buys a new puppy on Saturday. This does not, in fact, help the child with their feelings, because that child is sad. That child is hurt. It's lost this puppy that it's known for however many years, and we've just replaced it with another dog. It's not the same dog. We haven't bonded with this dog, so it's totally different. So it's an ineffective method with dealing with loss and grief. Same thing, let's say you're older, you've had a breakup, you've had a divorce. What's everybody say? There's plenty of fish in the sea. Go out and get another one. You're going to replace that loss. And that doesn't help you feel better about what you just went through. You had this relationship that is now broken, and your heart is broken. So now you've got to figure out how to deal with it. But people tell you, oh, just go get another girlfriend, get another wife, whatever. Replacing the loss. Another myth, a piece of bad advice. The third one is grieve alone. Imagine, if you will, the bugs out here in the beautiful campsite. So imagine a little boy, little girl, and we'll say boy because it happens more frequently with boys, starts crying over an incident. Go to your room if you're going to cry. I'll give you something to cry about. They don't want you to cry. Or let's say there is a death in the family. Grandma dies. The mom of the child is in her room. Well-meaning others in the family say, don't bother your mom. She needs time alone. We're teaching people that you should go away and not grieve in public. There is nothing wrong with grief. Grief is a normal part of life. We all end up being grievers. All of us are going to lose our parents. We're all going to go through relationships, maybe lose a dog, life-changing events. Everybody grieves. So let us get through the idea of grieving is bad and it should be done alone. So the next one, number 4, is be strong. I need you to be strong for your family, for your brother, your sister, your mom, your dad, whatever. So what that is teaching a child or anybody is buckle up your emotions, keep them quiet for another person, rather than let's be emotionally honest and say, we hurt too. And that person who is hurting, we should share that with them. They should share with us. Emotional honesty, because it's just a fact. When there's a loss, we hurt. So why do we feel the need to not share it? Society has taught us, for whatever reason, over the eons, passed it down, these bad scenarios, pieces of wisdom, and it doesn't help the person that's going through the grief, going through the loss. Number 5, keep busy. People will go bury themselves in their work, bury themselves in the hobby, working on the yard, whatever, It's not dealing with your grief. It's just keeping so occupied that you're not going to face it. So another, telling people just keep yourself busy. You won't think about it. It's not a helpful thing for dealing with the grief. And number 6, which is probably the worst one, time. Give it time. Time heals all wounds. Let me tell you, that is not the case. Myself, I'm 5 years into losing my daughter. That wound is not healed. I know people who have lost somebody 20 years ago, 30 years ago, that still feel raw and harmed inside, hurting inside as they did the day it happened. So why would we say that time heals all things? Let's take the example of a flat tire. If you get a flat tire and you wait, is time going to heal it? No. Actions, steps, either going to get the tools out of the back, getting the spare tire, changing it, taking steps to change it, or calling AAA or your insurance company and having somebody come out to help you change it, that is what's going to make that flat tire. So same thing. Your grief is not going to just heal in time. You have to do things to help heal your grief, the loss, that pain. There are actionable steps you can take to help get you out of grief into grief recovery so you can move on into a point where you have happiness and joy again. So those are the 6 myths of grief and loss. I am Bill, the Grieving Dad. You can find me at my website when it gets up and running. It should say under construction, grievingdad.com, thegrievingdad.com. But if you want to find me, I'm on Facebook, YouTube. Reach out to me if you want to have a conversation about grief with me, or if you're interested in finding more about the steps you can take to get from grieving to recovering from grieving. Reach out to me. 219-210-6000. That's my cell phone. Please text me first. Then we can set up a time and have a conversation about grief and see if you're fit for, tell you about the grief recovery method and those steps. So I'm looking forward to talking to you from my heart to yours. I'll see you later.